these pieces were written by the actors in lockdown. And so as I was watching it tonight, I was like, oh, this is dark. Oh, another dark piece. Oh my God, it's so dark. There are some, I hope there are some lighter moments, but it is interesting because art reflects who we are. And so a lot of the darkness is coming from this time of being in isolation and whatnot. So upcoming, we have scenes from our scene study class, and then the writer's room, which is all writing that was done online. So enjoy the second act.
Hi everyone, welcome back. And now we're gonna have two scenes from an act called All Expenses Paid. It's about Lynn. She's a very introvert, she's an artist, and she absolutely doesn't like people. And on the other side, we have Brian. He's extrovert, outgoing, and he's loving people. I hope you enjoy the two scenes that we're preparing for you, and have a good time.
Look at those trees. You don't see trees like that back home. Aren't they so lush? You don't see lush trees in Edmonton. It's like a jungle or garden or jungle wallpaper. Don't you think?
I'm surrounded by idiots.
She thinks I'm an idiot.
I should be at home.
Jungle wallpaper?
Why doesn't he shut up?
She's probably tense.
I mean, jungle wallpaper?
I should keep on talking. You'd expect there to be more insects, wouldn't you? What with it being so hot and humid. But maybe they just can't take the heat. I also heard there are poisonous snakes about and alligators. So I don't know which one's worse, living with a lot of insects or dangerous reptiles. What do you think? I think I'm just blithering.
You're just sitting there, blathering,
jabbering,
chattling.
It's time to change topics. Did you know that Florida was created by a river effluent? That's why it's so swampy. There's simply no runoff. The water just sits there, nowhere to go, unmoving, no escape.
Just like me.
What's that?
This is just like the lunch.
Can't she say anything? Doesn't she have something to say?
Brian! Brian? Lynn, don't you have something to say?
I do?
Don't you want to apologize for making me sit for that lunch?
What?
That lunch? Aren't you gonna apologize?
Me?
Yes, you.
Apologize?
Yes.
You should apologize.
What?
It's rude.
Why?
Walking out in Holland Red.
They were ripping off of my sketchbook.
So you aren't going to say you're sorry?
Are you?
I didn't do anything wrong.
Neither did I. Idiot!
Grouchy pants.
Idiot.
Grouchy pants.
I should have stayed at the hotel.
I should have left her in the room. I can't take this any longer.
This drive is taking forever.
What's that ahead?
Beach. Thank God. Well, I'm off.
Okay. I can come and pick you up. Maybe around 6 if you want.
No.
Finally. Peace and quiet.
Did you say Disney?
I'm sorry, I was distracted.
Distracted?
It was the phone call.
The phone call?
It was Al. He's offering me a job. I'm gonna be working at Disneyland.
So?
So, isn't this the most exciting thing ever?
A job?
At Disney, it's like a dream comes true.
What's this Disney obsession anyways?
Lynn,
I want to know.
it's not an obsession. I just happen to like nice things.
Like Disney?
Yeah?
What else?
I like you.
Helen Ray?
They're great.
I can't believe this. I actually thought I'd give you a chance.
What?
What are you anyways? Every time we meet someone, you push yourself to the front like some kind of used car salesman.
Well, I like to make friends.
Friends where? At work?
And other places.
Brian, everyone at work calls you Perry.
But Perry is my name.
They only put up with you because they think you're inoffensive.
People like me.
That's not exactly the basis for friendship.
Are we gonna talk or are we?
There's more to life than just exchanging smiles.
Oh, and sorry, what makes you such a smile expert, huh? When have you ever actually tried to be nice?
Just then, but I guess you weren't paying attention. You had Disney on your brain.
Well, at least I don't hide behind my hobbies.
What?
Well, you're drawing.
That's not a hobby. That's my life.
Life is what's going around you. It's what happened with other people.
I don't need other people.
Well, don't you want anything else?
I have stuff in my life. There has been stuff.
Like what?
Stuff.
Like what?
Like guys telling you you're the greatest thing in the world. And then they leave you.
Lynn, I'm sorry.
I don't need your sympathy, Perry.
Brian? My name is Brian.
Let's be absolutely clear about this. I don't like you, I don't like Disney, I don't like Florida, and I hate this stinking alligator.
Fine, I've tried to be nice, but I give up. Tomorrow I have an interview and if everything goes well, I'm gonna stay in Florida and I will never have to see you again.
Imagine my relief.
Great, then you stay here with your sketchbook. I'm sure there's some chairs you haven't drawn yet. But I am going out to celebrate. Come on, General.
Good evening, everyone. I have been given the honor of introducing the staged readings, which is our final section tonight. All of the pieces you are going to see were produced during this summer's Writers' Room course with Close Encounters Theatre and under the tutelage of the amazing playwright Emma Kelly. I hope the lyricism of my Celtic accent suits you, because I'll be in the corner over here reading some stage directions and I'll introduce each piece. If you haven't seen a staged reading before, it involves the actors with scripts here and they will be reading, but some of them have had practice with it. So I hope you enjoy this section of this evening. Our first piece is Home Truths by Lindsay Lomax. Scene 1. Jenny and Sarah, two flatmates, are standing in a street mid-discussion.
You know, that's like being a vegetarian but without the fun stuff.
Well, I figured to cheese.
Cheese is the fun stuff.
What? Well, it doesn't matter, we're going.
I really just want to eat steak, that's all.
Don't you know the biggest contributing factor to climate change is meat production?
I do now.
It's the ticking time bomb of our generation, the extinction of mankind. Life as we know it will be snuffed out and the planet will be reduced to a burning fireball. Is that what you want?
Of course not. But doesn't travel contribute a fair amount to climate change too?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you weren't that bothered about it when you took 6 months out to travel around South America.
I've grown as a person.
No.
What?
What's his name?
Whose name?
I distinctly remember you using the exact same phrase last time. You said the same thing to me when you met Bernard, and he made you take up Tibetan martial arts, remember? You insisted on bathing your feet in yak's milk every evening to realign your chakras.
Well, first of all, it was goat milk, Have you ever tried to get yak milk in the supermarkets here?
Then you said it when you met Delightful, but geeky, Ravi, and decided to learn Klingon to spice up phone sex with him, despite not having seen a single episode of Star Trek in your life.
These are captivating languages.
And who could forget the bronze Adonis himself, Marky, who convinced you to pick up surfing?
And what's wrong with surfing?
You can't swim.
Didn't stop me from having a go, did it? I would have still been with him if I hadn't split my lip open on the stern of that fishing boat. Can't you just be happy for me? I'm trying to grow as a person and save the environment at the same time. Fine, it's John, with N at one end, probably short for Jonathan.
Probably.
But I don't know him that well.
Not well as in a few weeks or in a few days.
Like, more like few hours?
Hours? Where the hell did you find him?
At the farmer's market this morning. You know, the one you said you were too busy to come along.
I can't leave you alone for 5 minutes, can I?
I was minding my own business, feeling a pear of melon when it just appeared next to me.
That does not mean you have to get married.
But there was this connection, not just physical or emotional, it was just a meeting of minds. Our auras blended into one.
And you got all that from just standing next to him.
Can't help if men are just naturally attracted to me. Then he started rabbiting on about saving the world through diet and some other stuff, and then he asked me if I'm vegan. And then of course I said yes.
Despite the fact that you don't actually know what a vegan is.
Just details. I've been thinking about changing my lifestyle for a while. This is the kick up the backside I needed.
And what happens when John finds out that you're a fake and a liar?
He's not going to find out because I am not a liar. I'm transitioning into vegan. I'm an eco-warrior of the 21st century. Anyways, I don't see what difference it makes to you. You will eat anything. Why are you so stuck on meat now?
I got the results.
What result?
Don't you remember me going to the doctors because of the dizzy spells and feeling run down?
Ah, that was you.
Yes, that was me.
Ah.
Anyways, I got the results from the blood test.
And does it say you have to eat cow?
Yeah, kinda. I've got an iron deficiency, and the doctor said I need to eat iron-rich foods or I have to go for regular transfusions.
In hospitals.
Not sure. He didn't say, and I did not want to ask. That's why I'm being so fussy about what we eat. I mean, I'd like to avoid spending hours with a needle stuck in my arm.
I don't want you to have to go through that either, because you'll end up in the hospital. There is no way I'll come to visit you. And send the place.
So we're agreed. We're going for steak.
Absolutely not. I have not agreed to that.
But you just said you didn't want me to end up in hospital. How is that not agreeing?
I was expressing a preference. I did not agree to slaughter meat for dinner.
You've only just met the guy. Come on. Think of it as your last supper.
Is it, Judah? I might have just met him, but what if one of his hurt-loving friends sees me through the window, tackling into a medium-rare slice of daisy?
Why is everything always about you? What about my health?
One meal isn't gonna change anything, is it? I'm not going to have to call an ambulance during the starter, am I?
Do you realize how serious this is? I have to think about my hemoglobin levels.
I have to think about my sex life.
If untreated, I could end up with hair loss and chronic fatigue.
You're gonna be bald and tired. Do you know what happens if I don't have sex at least once a month?
I'd say better have sweet potato fries.
Huh.
Our second piece this evening is Hasina Baby's Awakening.
Hey, welcome.
Hi, hello. How are you?
Very well, thank you. How have you been?
Well, I need coaching.
Coaching for what?
Well, everything. And maybe some healing too.
Why? What has happened?
It's me. I can't keep a single promise I make to myself.
Can you give me an example?
Yeah, so, like, even this morning, I told myself not to light a cigarette, that I will not use a cigarette and coffee to motivate me to get through the day. That I was going to do this cleanse, you know? And yeah, but I just can't seem to control myself. Why do I keep self-defeating like this?
Why do you want to give up coffee and cigarettes?
Well, because I want to look healthy. And healthy girls, they don't consume those things. You see it all over Instagram. I mean, I try to use those quotes to motivate me, you know, but it just doesn't seem to last. I can't even wake up early enough to meditate or to psych myself up for the day. Like all motivators said you should do. I have no self-control. Why is that?
I can't answer that, I'm afraid.
Okay.
But, hey, don't be so hard on yourself. I mean, some of this stuff's online. I'm not saying don't want you to watch it, but there is so much of a fluff.
Well, you know, they say things like, you should do what comes easy to you.
I know people who say you should be doing what comes difficult to you.
Well, my friend's friend, she criticized me. She said I must come from a dysfunctional family the way I am.
What is your understanding of a dysfunctional family?
Well, I think everyone, to a lesser or greater extent, comes from a dysfunctional family, because no family discusses everything, right? So what's the answer?
Answer?
Yeah, how do I stop breaking promises?
I can answer that, I'm afraid. But one option might be to not make promises to you. Or if you do, then not be too bad and too hard on yourself.
I must be hard on myself. I feel like such a failure.
Why do you say that?
Alright, so you know my job.
Yeah.
It pays well,
Mm-hmm.
and I have no problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
But I just sit there and I think, what's the purpose? It's all pretend. They don't care. They're liars. They're big liars. And they're actual numbers person, like statisticians like me, who know you can make it tell whatever story you want it to tell. Anyways. I mean, I get my work done, but after a while, you don't need 40 hours for the same old spreadsheet and PowerPoint anymore. You only need 3 to 4. And I've been doing it for like 3 years now. I don't know, it's really stressing me out, Nathan.
Yeah.
And all this Googling I do at work, and I must sit there like until at least 6 o'clock.
I see. You are bored.
Yeah. Yeah, I am bored. But why is not everyone bored?
No, forget about everyone else for this moment. What do you want?
What do you mean?
What do you want?
Do you mean if I want a new challenge?
Well, let's find the answer to that. Do you?
Well, I would like a more interesting and exciting job.
Like?
Like something more quantitative, like risk manager.
Okay. Sounds very challenging.
Yeah, I guess so.
So, if I'm interpreting this right, you're complaining because you want to work harder.
Well, for the same money? No. I mean, I did in the past, but I guess that was only because I got to escape from something. Doesn't sound very logical, though,
No.
does it?
But you're not the only one.
So, how do people figure it out what they want?
That's a tough one. For so many people, it takes a lifetime to figure it out.
Well, I saw it in my last role. A bunch of workaholics, actually. Everyone competing, and you go on holidays with them, and it's all about numbers, performances, and raises. Sometimes I still feel like a failure because I can't keep up with them. But at the same time, I don't want their life.
Look, so many people would kill to be in your position. To be able to get away with only working a few hours per week. Why? Why would you invite more challenge into your life? Don't you find life challenging enough?
Well, I do find life challenging. Maybe it was the distraction though. I mean, being busy kept me distracted, and now that I don't have that anymore, I feel like crap.
Maybe it's time you spend more time appreciating what you have, not what you don't have.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I have to stop feeling sorry for myself and actually let myself be happy. Thank you, Nathan. That's the reason why I come and see you.
And maybe cut back on social media.
Our next piece is written by Mavi Politoglu, and it is called But It Has Glitter. Scene 1, Shopping Mall Toy Store, Saturday.
We are not buying anything today.
They are so colorful.
Yes, they are, darling.
Can we have this?
No.
But why?
You already have crayons.
It has glitters.
You cannot get everything you ask for.
But Timmy also wants them.
Don't be silly, honey. Timmy is too young for these.
But these are my favorite.
Would you like them for Christmas?
I want them now!
Are you already done?
Yes, it was much faster than I thought.
Daddy, can we buy these?
Such nice crayons.
We got her stickers only last week.
Listen to your mother, Emma.
I told you we shouldn't have waited here.
How was I supposed to know? MediaMarkt Services usually has a huge line.
If you'd listened to me about the stupid camera, we wouldn't even need to do this in the first place.
What, all of a sudden, you wanted me to tag along? I was going to do it quickly myself.
And leave all of us in the house. I am so bored, and Emma wouldn't stop jumping on the sofa. She needs to get out.
They both realize at this point the glittery crayons on the floor next to Emma, who is drawing on the open package.
Emma!
You shouldn't have done that, sweetie. This is bad.
Scene 2. Everyone is in the parking lot, walking to the car.
Well, at least Timmy didn't wake up.
Car drives away. From the window, we see Emma with her new crayons. Our fourth piece is written by Max King and is called The Sneaker Man. Bethnal Green, East London, 2019. The two of them walked into the boxing arena by the main door, which was unlocked as arranged. Neither Bill nor Agnes had been to York Hall before.
Apparently, this is normally a boxing venue. Pretty empty now, though.
That must be the bar there. We're going to meet the sneaker guy there.
Oh, but the bar's locked up. Great date is turning out to be so far.
Sorry about that. We'll go somewhere nicer after.
We're in Bethnal Green.
Yeah? So, what can I get you to drink, milady?
Oh, idiot.
They say comics are for losers.
Superheroes in spandex.
The thing is, comic collectors read about superheroes. On the other hand, we are the superheroes.
Of course.
No, really. These sneakers that I'm waiting for, they're the kick-ass version of the everyday thing.
Yeah?
Yeah! I mean, why buy a pair of sneakers, or trainers as they call them here, that cost as much as a mountain bike or even a Louis Vuitton purse? See, Louis Vuitton can make you a superhero, only my sneaker collection can.
I collect poems. My superpower is boring people to death.
The colors, like orange, blue, silver, just like back in the ancient times. Plus, if you start wearing them too, you would be so badass. You would even be Jennifer Lawrence, like in the Hunger Games, you know?
Look, I get you're into the whole upmarket sneaker collection thing, but I like you for other reasons.
She likes me. Yeah. I can write you a poem for sneakers.
Yep.
Maybe.
Stop it right there.
Back in school, the hype kids used to hang out and talk about the coolest sneakers. I'd be listening from a distance. I swore that one day I would show up with a pair of sneakers that radiate awesomeness. Then they would worship me.
Like the way I do.
No, it's different. You keep things real. But they will bow to me. They will.
Stop there. In fact, where the hell is this guy?
But anyway, I like the suspense. Soon I'm gonna have another pair to add to my shelf of fame. In my hall of fame.
Still live with mommy and daddy at your age, so technically it's a hall of shame.
It's working out. It won't be forever. Sometimes I just feel they don't understand my vibe, you know what I'm saying? That's the thing.
They pay their rent. They don't need to dig your vibe.
I'm established. I have a street cred. People in the community respect my collection. They dig my...
So you reckon your parents don't dig your vibe?
Yeah. They even said, one more pair and you're out.
That's serious. You tell me things like it's no big deal.
There is more space. And I have more needs.
This is serious.
No big deal, like you said.
Wait, I didn't say no big deal.
You just did.
No, I just said the opposite. I said you think something is no big deal when it's actually a big deal.
What's the problem? If they kick me out, we can spend more time together.
Am I your plan B?
You're my lovely girl. You're my Cleopatra.
You gonna bring your damn sneakers on our future honeymoon? Am I just hearing about?
Let's take a step back for a second.
Okay. Seconds up. You gonna bring your damn sneakers when you move in after your parents kick your sneaker ass out of their house?
Whoa, Agnes,
Bill!
it's who I am. It's kind of what defines me. I would feel a void if I didn't have them.
Well, I would feel a void too if I had to chuck out your entire sneaker collection. But I could see myself getting over it.
Get on my case, okay? I'm aiming for the stars here. In fact, what the hell gives you the right to question me?
Your face is red over sneakers?
You better,
Seriously?
You better believe it. Okay, sorry. Let's take a step back for a second or two. Time for a deep breath. It's my parents. I guess that they win me up sometimes, you know.
That's their purpose in life. Didn't I tell you? I'm part of a sleeper cell, that one that's activated by the code of sneakers. And you said it, so you better find your goddamn sneakers in a goddamn warehouse!
Agnes, that's not a bad idea actually. I like it. But it would need a humidifier and a security guard, maybe armed. Well, that's too far, but a good light and a display area.
Enough! Idiot!
Our fifth piece is by Atnas Piscaciu. Oh, I had it so right earlier. And it is called Shy Sam. Samuel is a 28-year-old graphic designer living in Montreux, Switzerland. Having recently moved to a new city, he feels lonely and is looking for new friends. He is extremely introverted, skeptical, nervous, cowardly, meek, and indecisive. He goes to work and walks in the park, always imprisoned by his thoughts at home and looking for the problem in himself. He is insecure about how he represents himself in front of new people because his guilty pleasure is being alone. Samuel must find the courage to talk to strangers and be more decisive. Otherwise, he will be forever alone with only his thoughts.
Hello world! My name is Sam, a 28 years old graphic designer at the height of his career. Nonetheless, I suck at being a communicative person. Actually, I recently moved to Montreal to follow my career path and start working for a huge Swiss company. I love the city, the food is amazing, the people are smiling. Anyway, believe me or not, for an introverted guy like me, it's mega hard to find a new buddies here, or in fact, anywhere. I start to question myself, how can I create a network and where can I get a new friends or even a girlfriend? I was wondering whether to go to a disco club or start attending some sport classes, but let me be honest, I have never been interested in parties and I'm really bad at sports. So I just say to myself, okay Sam, just go outside, walk a bit, get to know the city and you will find a nice place where you can feel great. And maybe you can meet someone new there. So I decided to go for a walk because I was absolutely sure that there is a nice place, nice place around my house. We're in Switzerland, right? Fortunately, I found a green and quiet park. 10 minutes from my home, so cool. No need to walk for a long time and getting sweaty. I hate it. Next, I begin my stroll. The sun was shining. There were so many people, all of them with their friends or pets. How can I walk there and start a conversation with some of them from scratch. I think it is worth, isn't it? Suddenly, I see her. The most beautiful girl ever, sitting alone on a bench. Her hair was short and blonde. Her eyes was bright with the color of the ocean. She was reading a really thick book. I was feeling like God just sent me the girl of my dreams in front of me. And here I am, with my extremely introverted character, thinking about how I can go next to her and just say hello. With every single step, I was closer and closer to her. I was feeling the sweat on my back. Inside, I was feeling like I'm on the stage in front of thousands of people. Woefully, my inner disadvantages have not let me to talk to her. I passed, and I was looking screwy at her. While I was on my way back home, I felt angry about myself, and I began questioning myself questions like, why am I so indecisive and shy? What's the reason behind my insecurities? How to gain more self-confidence? On the next day, after a long day at work, I decided to visit the same park again and look for the same pretty girl from yesterday, just to say hi. And so on, I went there, and you know what? She was there, even more beautiful than yesterday, sitting on the same sunny bench, reading the same thick book. I got nervous again. I feel the sweat all over my body. Then she raised her head and looked at me with an eager and smiley face. I felt the same anxiety than yesterday. I speed up my steps and I bowed my head shyly. My lack of self-confidence plagued me again. I say to myself, what is wrong with me? Why am I so scared to say even hi? When I went back to my home, I sat and my head was exploding with thousands of thoughts. For the whole night, I started digging deep into my mistakes and searching for a way to solve them. The following day, I finished with my office duties and I went into the same park to finally ask her about her name. And so on. I walked outside. I was so confident that day. I thought to myself, definitely today I'm going to talk to her. For the first time in my life, I was so fired up. The weather was cloudy. There were not so many people outside. During my walk, I started getting nervous and sweaty with every step. I drew near the bench, and unfortunately, the bench was empty. The girl was no longer there. Strange. Like she was supposed to stay there and waiting me to be fully prepared for her. So naive on my side. I continued walking into the same park for 2 months, holding hopes to see her again. Sadly, I never saw that girl again. I was feeling so pity. I had missed such a great opportunity. I was so motivated and confident on the third day. My worries about how I am going to represent myself and my desire to look as good as possible prevented me from meeting her. Actually, at the end of the story, I have never talked to that girl, but she actually changed my life in a way that no one has ever changed it before. She left an unforgettable lesson in my mind. Since that day, I broke up with my insecurities and I realized that things would not be forever there, waiting for me to be fully prepared. It's astonishing how something so small can turn your whole life in a better direction.
In a slight change to the program, our next piece is actually entitled The Sociopath, and it's written and performed by Max K.
Thanks for letting me sleep on your couch while I clear up this mess. You got me into this with this dating app you told me about. Especially me as a postal worker. I'm out there delivering packages. And I see exactly what's going on and where. And that's how I met Annalisa. You know, she's the one from Germany. Right? So we're making out on her couch, and she's got this lipstick. It tastes like rhubarb. My hands start to wander, but she slows me down, and she stands up. She goes to the other room, comes back with this white bag. I'm thinking, this is about to get kinky. She opens the bag up, and it's full of $100 bills. Yeah, now suddenly she's telling me she's an ice skater, and she needs that money in her club, and I'm supposed to get it to them. But it's right there. She says, no, that would be awkward. Think of it as dirty laundry. Take it to a laundromat. So she actually convinces me to get away from the mail delivery altogether and go back behind the counter at an actual post office. And this is something I've been thinking about for some time, and I had the training from back when I started, so I make the move after about 7 weeks, and there I am, this white-collar guy. And let me tell you, that wasn't the only sports bag we're talking about. They just kept rolling in. But it didn't matter, because the post office, everybody brings in all the cash. Either that or they're returning their Zalando orders, right? So there I am, processing these deposits, and I see I can adjust the receipts on our end, right? So I'm rounding it up, rounding it down. At the end of the day, I can introduce some of Annalisa's cash into the scheme of things, and then if there's a little too much, I set that aside for the club. Now, maybe this wasn't 100% legit, but it wasn't stealing or anything. So one day, I'm making the usual changes, but there's a problem. I change one thing over here, then over there, 3 things get all twisted, just like a Rubik's Cube, you know? On top of that, I stayed an hour later in the office, and I hadn't even realized it. The wife cooked dinner. Jenny, we've been together for 2 years, and I'll always remember the first time she smiled. But I had the problem. I had to fix this problem. At this stage, I was the last guy in the office, recounting. The phone rings. I lose count. I have to start from the beginning. I get through this time. I see it's Jenny who calls, right? So I call her back. Hey, babe. Where the hell are you? Wait. And then she goes, you cheating son of a bitch. I'm like, no, I'm at work. Let me explain. She hangs up. I'm like, you know, how could she jump to conclusions like that? Because it was overtime. I wasn't cheating. You know, they say there's no such thing as a victimless crime, right? Which is nonsense, because A, there was no crime, and B, why am I always the victim?
Our last piece this evening is actually by me, Catherine Cronin, and it is called Ancestor. It is the year 2049. The scene opens on Danny and Kim seated at a table. Danny has an iPad or tablet. Kim is guarded. There is a screen or monitor for Kim to interact with later in the scene. On the desk in front of her, there is a green button and a red button. There is also an AI monitor. It will beep, beep, later in the scene. Danny begins this scene with a stereotypical salesperson patter or matter-of-fact business speak. There is a sense that she's just going through the motions. She's focused on getting the job done, and initially interacting more with her tablet than with Kim. Kim seems resentfully obligated to be in this place. More will be revealed as the scene progresses. The scene begins when Danny taps her tablet, indicating that she has begun recording the session.
Welcome to MeetYourAncestor.com, the most trusted genealogical recreative service in the world. Could you please restate the name of the person you wish to engage with today? Miss Adams?
Yeah, sorry. Jamie Winston.
And what is your relationship with the deceased?
He was my grandfather.
Any questions before we start?
Why?
Why what?
Why do people come here?
I'm not sure I follow.
Well, I don't get it.
Oh, I see. So for your package, we gather all the recorded digital data and from that recreate a digital composite of your departed family member for you to interact with. Now we also have a premium option where we add tweets, posts.
Yeah, I get the concept. I suppose I'm having trouble understanding why people do this whole thing.
We hear all sorts of reasons. For some it's grief, others use it to connect with a family member that they never met. A few even think they'll uncover family secrets.
Really? Like what?
I should take this opportunity to warn you again, this is not your grandfather. This is a recreation, an amalgamation of all the recorded digital footprints they made. There is a limit to what they can answer.
I see. I guess that's what Mom liked about it. She always wanted me to have more of a relationship with my grandfather, but I just didn't.
Why him and not her, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, it was actually her dying wish for me to contact him. She actually came here a lot. He was her hero.
It might help to think of it more like an old video. It has no bearing on reality and you control the narrative here.
Okay.
So when I leave, you may start the session by pushing the green button on the desk. Jamie Winston will appear on screen. If at any time you need technical support, please push the red button. Our AI will remotely monitor your vital signs and cortisol levels. This is to prevent you from becoming unduly distressed. Does that all make sense? Good. Now, since this is presented in the form of a video call, your recreation has been programmed to treat it as such and to recognise you as the caller. So, best of luck.
Danny stands up and walks away. She turns back to give Kim a reassuring look and then leaves. Kim hesitates for a moment, takes a deep breath, and presses the green button. The screen comes on. Enter Jamie on screen.
Hello, Kimmy, is that you?
Yes, Jamie, it's me.
Wow, Kimmy, you're so grown up.
I suppose I am. Is that a problem?
Of course not, silly. Oh, but I have missed out on so much. I still remember when you were a little girl.
Really?
Yes, remember on your 5th birthday? You drove your mother crazy with all those TikTok dance challenges. But at the end of the day, everyone at the party was joining in. It was great fun. My subs couldn't get enough, and neither could I.
I bet. So you watched all of those videos, did you? All the happy family memories?
Of course, love. I wouldn't have posted them if they hadn't made me happy. I'm very proud of our family. Is everything okay, Kimmy?
Stop calling me that!
If you like.
It turns my fucking stomach when anyone calls me Kimmy, especially you.
You seem a little upset. Why don't you tell your granddad about it? Maybe I can help you.
Maybe you can help me. I very much doubt that. In fact, I can't take this bullshit anymore.
Kim slams on the red button. Jamie pauses on screen. Enter Danny.
Miss Adams?
This is not him.
Danny begins looking at the tablet, from the tablet to the screen in panic.
Look, it is him, but it's not, or at least not the man I remember.
Oh, well, your mother was always pleased with the recreation.
Maybe because that's the man she remembers. The one from the pictures and the videos. You mentioned a premium package?
Yes. It's not for everyone. It finds everything in the places families don't know about. But it is far more realistic in terms of the reaction you get, for better or worse.
I want the upgrade.
Okay, the AI picked up a rise in your stress level.
That's because I was talking to this fake bastard. If I have to do this anyways, I might as well confront the prick for real. Or at least as real as it can get.
Okay,
Danny makes some adjustments on the tablet.
it's done.
Exit Danny. Kim takes a deep breath and pushes the green button. On the screen, Jamie drops his head to reset. Jamie lifts his head slowly, and his previously friendly expression has been replaced with a darker one. He is sneering at Kim.
Kimmy, Kimmy, Kimmy.
Kim looks at him in disgust.
It's a shame you can't give your old granddad a little hug or even a kiss.
You make me sick!
Is that any way to speak to me? What would your mother think? Would you want to upset Mummy, would we?
It doesn't matter now. Seeing you recreated like this is a weird release, actually. If this version of you is here, it means that you were just as sick online as you were in real life. To know that it was not about me.
But you were special.
No! You only said that to use and isolate me. I was a child! For you, I wasn't special. And now, neither are you.
Jamie says nothing. Kim wipes away her tears, composes herself, and pushes the red button. Enter Danny.
Everything okay?
Kim pushes the green button.
Yeah, I'm done here. In fact, you can wipe the recreation file.
Jamie's eyes narrow in anger on screen.
Sure.
Danny taps on her tablet, and Jamie disappears from the screen.
Done. I hope you were happy with the service.
Beep. And thus ends tonight's proceedings. We welcome all the cast back on stage.
Thank you again so much for coming, and I really want to thank Sam Matzner for playing for us, and also Fritz Rickenbacher in the booth that did all that wonderful tech, and also to Millers for allowing us to work in this beautiful theater. And then we had a lovely videographer that spent her time and afternoon with us, Tren, and also I only got that you were the flatmate of somebody, and then I can't remember your name.
Andrea.
I'm so sorry. Andrea.
Yeah.
Exactly, and he's been shooting the photographs for us. And I also want to thank you for coming. A lot of these people have never written before, have never even acted before, and so you are really witnessing them blossom and spread their wings.
And we want to thank Sarah Broding, our director.
Yes, and I also want to thank all of them because they are, I told them that they're the lights of my life. I mean, during lockdown, it was so wonderful to have online classes with them. It was just so joyous and wonderful. And they're just lovely humans to work with. So if you want to be involved with Close Encounters Theatre, we have so many things up and running in our new studio in Sil City. We have drama classes and art classes and writing classes and theater classes and dance classes. So do check it out. And we work with children all the way from 3 all the way to 95 years old, or even more if you can live that long. So again, have a beautiful night, and thank you again for coming.